Hi, this is COBOLT. I'm very pleased to say that out today, 3rd of February 2023, is the official release of my new track, Rain Passes. It's available as a radio edit and an extended mix, and is the first official release of 2023, which I'm so excited about. I'm going to try and get much more in the way of releases done this year, so hopefully you'll enjoy them, and hopefully you can either stream them or download them. The track, both like I say as a radio and extended mix, is currently available on all major platforms for streaming and download, so please feel free to check it out, and here's a bit of it now. So the way that the track actually started, and this was one of the ones that alongside Inner Child and Brighter Lights, it was one of the first songs that I wrote for sort of for the plan of commercial release, but before I started Ultra Melodies as a label and did it at university, but it was one that started off with the intro melody with the sort of what felt like a nice sort of summery sound, which I was really pleased with, but then obviously with Trance you then have the breakdown, the sort of quiet bit before you then build up to the main drop, which I always find such an interesting point to kind of have that sort of contrast to the energy of a drop, and also sort of explore different sort of ideas on a slightly more subtle and introspective level. So when I thought about sort of, it's nice and summery when it comes to the actual drop itself, what do I do to kind of contrast that? And something that came up when I started putting together the layering of pads and sort of more subtle melodies, which I thought it actually feels kind of like, it felt like something that needed something more than just synth, so I added in the additional sound effect of rain as well, and also included sort of builds of sweeping white noise very subtly to sort of give that impression of like when rain moves over vast swathes of land and sort of has that sort of intensity of very quiet intensity, but intensity of heavy rain. And between the two, it is like, okay, so what does this kind of mean overall? And that's where Rain Passes came from. It was this idea that obviously on a metaphorical and emotional level, we all go through periods of time where we have hardship, whether that's in the way of that can be anything from friends, family, work, anything from losses, breakups, and a whole range of things. And I'm obviously not going to say for anyone what this song means, if they think of it in a sort of a more emotive sense, but that was kind of where it all came from, this idea of trying to create an inspirational and uplifting track that kind of reflected on those sorts of ideas, whilst ultimately making you hopefully feel a bit better by the end of it. Obviously it's one of the beauties of uplifting trance, is that it can actually sort of give you that sense of walking away from it feeling that bit better about things. So I hope you enjoyed the track. It was great fun to make, and I'm so glad to finally have it released after well over a year. So yes, you can get it on places like Amazon Music, iTunes and Apple Music, and Beatport. You can listen to it on Spotify, and all major platforms that you can think of. It should be there. So I hope you enjoy it, and feel free to spread the release around to anyone who you think might appreciate it. And thank you all so much for your continued support. It's great to have another year, hopefully, of many more releases. So thank you very much, and hope you enjoy it.